Hey folks, welcome back for more inZOI updates, and as you can tell by the video title, the team over at inZOI just announced plans to release on both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. This is great news for console gamers who are really interested in giving this graphically and CPU intensive game a try. As of right now, we don't have a release date for consoles, we only know that it's part of their development goal, which I think speaks positively about their priorities to optimize the game. It can be challenging to build or buy a gaming PC yourself, so it's nice to know that the devs at inZOI are open to expanding their release to gamers with consoles. You know, my thoughts are more on how well they can optimize their game with the many features and mechanics and content they've already added. Some of the funny comments I see from time to time whenever I'm watching gameplay videos are, "I've seen more content here than Sims 4 base game," or "half of the stuff I watched in this clip are broken up into several DLC packs," something to that effect. And you know, that's an honest assessment. To say that this game isn't ambitious is an understatement. Not only will your Zois do sim things, as we expect them to, but there are tons of new details. For example, rendering the many pathings for Zois, having background Zois work as characters initiating the same mechanics as the player, jobs, cars, and the environment affects not just your Zoi, but the Zois around you. All of this is to say that there are tons of moving parts that can work in the background of your save. I'm just curious to see how well the devs can optimize for both PC and under the rigorous restrictions that come when working with consoles. As for early access, inZOI is still scheduled to be released on PC later this year. That said, when games are at this stage of development, I caution that it may change. I'm sure Life by You was just as confident when they marked their drop date.
Yup.
Rest in peace, Life by You. You never had a chance to grow. The inZOI team, the inZOI team said toward the end of 2024, let's hope for 2024, but let's remind ourselves to have reasonable expectations. Okay, and aside from that, that's it. That's the end of the video. Aside from that, there are growing concerns over the usage of AI in inZOI. I know I said the bad word. Now that more gameplay has been shown and their growing interest in inZOI has really kicked into high gear, there's more conversation and more feedback about people's general feelings about AI. But before I say my piece, I also feel like it's important that you know where I stand. You know, I just want to preface my position openly here. I am no tech bro. I ain't rich. I'm just a SoCal local lad trying my best to live in places that I've grown up in that I can no longer afford. Just a guy who makes videos on the internet. That said, I approach AI with a great degree of charitability and cynicism. I know, strange dichotomy. So where I stand on this is that I'm pro-empowering people with the use of technology. I am pro-democratization of AI. I am hopeful and psyched with the latest innovations in science and technology, and I am very much aligned with Gene Roddenberry's ideas and would love to have a best friend in data.
What do you think? Tell me what it's supposed to be, and then I'll give you my opinion.
It is an attempt at pure creativity.
What we're investigating is, can data be creative?
And this is my attempt.
Although I'm very well aware that there are many exploitative companies and bad actors out there who would prefer Terminators. I get all that. But let's also be nuanced in our discussion here. You know, what we're seeing in inZOI and more broadly out there in the world right now isn't the AI we think it is. It's machine learning, a subset of AI that needs constant training and programming and human intervention to work as intended. In that sense, the blame we place shouldn't be on the technology, but rather the people who drive it. On the same token, we should praise and support teams and communities that use and develop AI to better empower those teams, communities, and in our case, their game. The people who create art for AI, who code for their AI, who train their AI in unique systems, I think that's a net positive that can make games more accessible and immersive than they've ever been. I have tried their generative AI in their character studio, and to put it kindly, it's hit and miss. I can see their AI working better when it comes to how they'll be using like the texting mechanic. The inZOI team, in case you haven't seen it already, plans to implement a feature where you can type in your inZOI's phone, like you're sending a real text. Then they'll have the Zoi you're texting respond to you in a unique way. This would be an incredibly fun and immersive experience rather than a constant, stagnant selection of choices. The larger concern here, I think, is in regards to the ethics surrounding their machine learning tool. For example, where do they source their art from? Perhaps they even use free copyrighted images to help source their material. It's hard to say, honestly. They're not too forthright with how they're developing their AI. Most companies aren't, so there's that to keep in mind as well. From what I can tell, they do it in-house and have developed a team to constantly monitor the laws regarding their use. I'll go ahead and link Krafton's AI ethics page in the description below. All of that said, they are still a company. So like any company, you never want to be subject to brand loyalty. I have been a simmer for my entire life, which brings me no great joy, at least not anymore. Yet I'm very much eager to jump ship. At the end of the day, brand loyalty, being a fan of a company, yields you nothing. They won't be there when your utility bill comes through. They won't be there when you need a mental health break but you can't afford time off of work because you need to work. They won't be there to afford your healthcare when... That's just more of an American thing. But you get my point.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. We're all... Okay. I think I get it. What do you mean?
A company is not your friend. You are the consumer, so use your buying power to make informed decisions. While I'm excited to see how AI is used in inZOI, should it be sourced unethically, or we discover malicious practices behind the project, should any of that happen, what are we gonna do, folks? Get ready to say it. Because I'm gonna say it, you should say it with me. Let's say it together, 1, 2, 3, jump boatcraft. Boatcraft, that's what I was gonna say, not ship. I'm gonna jump the boatcraft. We're gonna jump ship, obviously. It's not a big deal, and it is what it is, you know? If anything, take what you can from companies. You know, earn your bread any way you're able. That's where I stand. I really hope there are no microtransactions for this game. Like, it's just a normal game. Like, be normal, inZOI, please. Just have a price that we pay for, and then we get like the full game. You know, like old school style. You know how we used to do it back in the day, where you used to buy a game and then you had the game, not just like parts of it, but like all of game. Just sell game, no microtransactions. Please, Krafton, do it. Do the right thing. Anyways, so while I think a lot of the discourse surrounding AI is important, it can sometimes lead to useless fear-mongering. I just say, let's wait and see. Because the fact of the matter is, folks, the technology isn't going anywhere, so we can either implement it in a positive and enriching way, or we can surrender to the powers that be that gatekeep the technology.
That's how it starts. But the road from legitimate suspicion to rampant paranoia is very much shorter than we think.
I'm sorry, this is not that kind of channel. That was my spiel. I'll get off the soapbox. At any rate, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate that. And I hope to see you in the next one, whatever the next one may be. So until then, I'll see you then. Bye for now. But seriously, folks, do yourself a favor. Watch some Star Trek Next Generation. Get over the hokey, 90s, graphics and all that, and visuals and stuff. It's about the heart of the show. It's about the spirit of a feel-good atmosphere. I'm just kidding. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, bye.